Hello there and welcome to this tutorial about how to change the fabric on a chair or just how to add new fabric. So I've had these chairs for a while and originally they were, you can see like deep green velvet, and they kind of get a little bit dirty and I just feel like, I want to change them up. They're not as interesting as they could be. So I'm just putting them on some duvet cover fabric just to make a little template, and then I'm drawing around the chair and just adding a little bit for seam allowance, and this might be too much, but then you can always make it smaller. And I'm adding more seam allowance as well on the bottom because I need some extra fabric there. And then just cutting it off, cut, and this doesn't need to be pretty at all. This is just very rough because this is just a template, so I can put that on top of the proper fabric that I'm going to use. I need 2 of these. And then of course I also need something for the seat cover. And I'm just gonna line this the seat cover, just roughly give it a lot of seam allowance because there needs to be a lot of fabric going around there and fabric to be stapled onto the base, onto the seat. So here we have 2 pieces for the chair back and 1 piece for the seat. And I'm just stitching those 2 pieces for the chair back together on my sewing machine. Just, regular stitch, making sure that it fits. So I'm turning it out to front and putting it on my chair seat. Not seat, on the chair back. Well done, Caroline. And you can always see how it fits and then make it smaller if you need to. But this fits quite well. And then, just taking it, pressing it, squeezing it, making sure that it's straight. And it was maybe a mistake from me to do it with something that has stripes and checks, because then you have to be really careful about how you place it, and that's not what I'm best at. But it's fine, and yes, if you choose a pattern that you don't need to worry about placing, then it's just easier. I'm stapling all these onto the base of the seat on the back, and I've got a really good staple gun that's awesome, and just making sure it's nice and tight all the way around. And I actually end up taking away some of these staples because of course there were some holes underneath for the screws for the chair, so that's my mistake, but that's easily done, so not a problem. Then I'm placing the seat onto the back of the chair, and again just making sure that it's nice and even, and then just making some holes to put the screws in, making sure that they are very, very secure, as I don't want anybody sitting on the chair and eventually falling off. That would be a shame. So there's not that much sewing to this job actually. It's just the back of the chair, and that's really easy. Then it's a lot of stapling, that's always fun. And then it's just screwing and making sure they are secure. And as you can see, that was actually a little bit difficult. And yes, I did it with, did it manually by hand because that seemed to work better than with the screw driver machine. And then putting all of these on, and then cutting a bit of the excess fabric away where I don't want it, because I want to have access to those screws so I can reach into them and actually secure them if they suddenly loosen, because that's sometimes the case. So all this extra fabric from the back of the chair I'm actually cutting up here, as you can see, because I want to make some holes for the screws. So, and then it's just stapling. It's so great to do. Always the most fun part. And of course also making sure that there's space to put the legs in. Now just changing the staples. I have a really good stapling gun. It's great. And this is where I just readjust it and make sure that that I can reach those screws. And it's always good to have some extra fabric when you move it around, then you can always cut it off later. It's not nice if you don't have enough to actually staple it to the base securely. And then just screwing in the legs, making sure that they're nice and tight, making sure that I can get to them, and then we're pretty much done. And be sure to always like check them once in a while if you feel like the chair is kind of loose. And here we have the finished result next to, yeah, one of the old ones. I love this funky, it looks so retro, and then it's just the softest fleece, so it's really nice and comfy to sit on. That is so great. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.